Hello class, receiving teachers and students. Thank you. You may be seated. All right, in our lesson today, we'll be looking at Earth again. So, who can tell me from the last lesson about how many million years ago was the Earth formed? How many million years ago was the Earth formed? Let me see. Okay, Uval. We'll have Uval.
65 million years ago.
65 million years ago. Good. Can you tell us what happened 65 million years ago in just a short sentence, a summary?
6.5 million years ago.
Anything else you would like to tell us? No. All right, 6.5 million years ago was when the Earth was formed. That is what scientists believe. Okay. So we will look at this Earth. I brought you a mango fruit. It's not ready for us to eat, but for our lesson. I'll cut the mango in half, and let's see through the mango. What do we see in the mango? It's an unripe mango, not ready to eat. So we have two halves of the mango. Have a look at this mango. Yeah, half of the mango. Okay. Now, how many layers can you see? What do you see? Can you tell us? Can someone tell me about the mango? Look. Just a mango. Okay, tell us about the mango. Let's have Owen. Tell us about the mango.
1 layer.
What is it?
1.
What do you see?
1 layer.
Okay. 1, 2, who would like to tell us? Tell us about the mango layers. Have a look at the layers. How many layers do you see? Pass the mic over.
The mango is 4 layers.
Okay, 4 layers. So the mango has 4 layers. Can you tell us what do you see? Huh? Tell us what you see if you say there are 4 layers.
the skin,
the skin, okay,
and the thing we eat, the food, the meat of the mango,
okay. Okay, what else?
the outside part to protect the seed,
That is called the seed cover. The hard part of the
and the seed.
and the seed itself. Okay, the whole thing is called the seed, but the core of the seed. All right. If you look closer, every time you eat a mango, you will find that you have the skin. Sometimes you peel it off, and then you have the flesh. Then you have the seed. But when you cut the seed, you have the seed cover and the core of the seed itself, which is a soft white part of the mango. So there are about 4 things that make up the whole mango seed. Now, if we talk about our earth, the earth was formed, like Uval said, 665 million years ago, or 6.5 million years ago. Now, it was formed from, guessed? Okay, right. Dust, clouds of gases, dust, and particles of rocks that were floating in space. This was pulled together by gravity. You remember your gravity force. This was pulled together by gravity. And over time, over millions of years, pressure was applied. And the earth itself was formed. So when the earth was formed, pressure was applied, and it was all just, the earth was just hot. And over millions of years, it cooled down. Now, scientists believe that this earth has layers. This earth has layers, and we are going to talk about that and discuss that in our lesson. So with you and your friends, if you have read about it, about the earth and the earth structure, how many layers do you think this is? So our topic today is, let's look inside the earth. This is a picture of the globe or the world. If we were to cut the earth in half, like the mango fruit, how many layers do you think the earth has? So, how many layers do you think the earth has? Any guesses? How many layers do you think the earth has? Newman?
3.
3. Newman says 3. Okay, good, Newman. Thank you. We'll have Vanessa.
4.
Okay, Vanessa says 4. There are 4 layers. The earth has 4 layers. Any others? Let's have a look at the diagram on our picture. If the earth was cut into half, we would have The scientists believe that there are 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there are 4 layers. Scientists believe that there are 4 layers of the earth. So that is your first exercise. Label the earth structure of the earth. What is the first layer? Labeled A called. What is the second layer? B called. What is the third layer? C, and the fourth layer? D called. So the words for you to use are there. You can discuss with your friends and write it down. You have 5 minutes. So what do you think it is? I know some of you have read, seen it somewhere. Have you written it down? Yeah, you can write it. Wait. You read it already. Did you write it down in your book? You need to write it down in your book, so when you go through your revision, you will go through your notes. Very good. Some already know the answer. They have read it somewhere in the books. What it looks like on the board. Use a pencil to draw if you're drawing, but be quick. You can just write the question and the answers. Your diagram will be later. One group has finished, and you have only a minute left for the answers. Come on. Just the layers. What are the layers called? Our time is up. Okay, who can give me the first layer? What is the first layer called? What is the first layer called? We have lacquer.
Crust.
The first layer is called the crust. Robert, what is the second layer?
Thick mantle.
Mantle. Number 3, what is the number 3 layer of the earth called? Emmanuel.
Outer core.
The outer core, thank you. And Jason, the last one, what is it called?
Inner core.
Okay, thank you, Jason. The inner core. Let's see if we are correct with our answers. Okay, the layer, the very thin layer of the earth, the very thin layer of the earth at the top, which is called the crust. The second layer, B, is called the mantle. And the third is the outer core. And right in the center of the earth is called the inner core. So those are the 4 layers of the earth. Our next activity. Now in your groups with you and your friends, students, describe each of the layers of the earth. What do you think is the crust made of? The mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. Okay, you have another 5 minutes to do that. May I have my mango? What do you think? Is the inner core and the outer core or the mantle, are they solid or liquid? Are they made of rock, metal? What is the temperature like? Or how thick is the layers? Students, if you have the book for the grade 6 science, outcome-based, you can use that, teachers, if you have that with you, to help your students answer the questions. second layer. Milika, give us the first description of the first layer, which is the Earth's crust. Can you tell us in one sentence?
The crust is made up of layer of solid rocks.
Very good. Thank you. It is made out of the layer is made out of solid rocks. Any other things that you want to add on? No. Any other things somebody would like to add on about the crust? One part of the layer of the crust is made of solid rocks. What else?
Made up of soil.
Consists soil, yes. Very thin layer of soil on the crust, which we use to make our gardens, walk on. But the whole layer is made of very solid rock, most of it. Any other descriptions about the crust? All right, number 2. The second layer, which is just after the crust, is the mantle. What is it made of? Is it solid? Is it liquid? What is it made of? Uval?
Made up of solid rock.
Again, it is made up of solid rock. Thank you, Uval, for that answer. Good. Any other descriptions to add on to the mantle? Robert, what is the mantle made up of? Uval said made up of solid rock. What else can you say about the mantle?
Rocks. Rock like stiff red hot jelly. Rock like stiff red hot jelly.
Still red hot or stiff red hot rocks. Jelly, oh, it's liquid form. It is not very solid, but it is a liquid form, more like, not really liquid, but jelly form. Thank you, Robert, for the description. Outer core, who can tell us about outer core? Any descriptions about outer core? What do you think it is made of? Minol? No, Minol is thinking. Okay. Rudolph. Just talk this. No worries.
Iron nickel.
You're a good boy. Rudolph?
Iron nickel.
Iron and nickel. All right, very good. Thank you for those answers. Now, if you have been reading or gone through some of the books about the earth structure, they would have given you good descriptions. But here is a short summary of each of the layers of the earth. The crust is made up of solid rock. Most of the crust is made of solid rock. We have soil, but it is made up of, most of the crust layer is made of solid rock. Well, it's about 8 to 64 kilometers thick. The crust layer, the thickness is very thin in the ocean, and on the continent or the land itself, the thickness of the crust is very thick, or thicker than the ocean. Temperature is about 20 degrees Celsius near the surface, and reaches up to 500 degrees near the mantle, which is the second layer. So let's have a look at the second layer. The second layer is below the crust. It's made of hot molten rock, like Vanessa and the group Robert described, jelly form. But it is a hot red rock. It's about 2,800 kilometers thick, temperatures are 500 degrees at the base of the crust, or just where the crust and the mantle meet. That's the temperature, and reaches up to 2000 degrees, very hot, towards the outer core. So that is the mantle. Our next layer is the outer core, which is just below the mantle. Now, like Rudolph said, it is made up, scientists believe that it is made of hot iron or molten iron and nickel. And the thickness is about 2,000 kilometers thick. And the temperature reaches the temperature of 3,000 degrees near the base of the inner core. Not the crust, sorry, it should be the base of the inner core. Finally, the inner core, the center of the earth. Which is the center of the earth? The inner core. It is solid. Scientists believe that it is solid iron, made of solid iron and nickel. And with the thickness of 2,800 kilometers and the temperature of 4,000 degrees. Right. All right, Christian teachers, if you do not have that information, you can refer to the outcome-based students' book on page 131 to 32. So that is the simple description of each of the layers of the earth. Now our summary. Relax. The earth is a spinning ball of rock and metal. The whole earth, as we went through the layers of the earth, it is a spinning ball of rock and metal. Our next summary point, as you mentioned, there are 4 layers. And our key phrase. What is our key phrase? Layers, add layers. Okay, very good. Thank you. We looked at the earth structure. That talks about the layers of the earth. Very good. Thank you very much. Our next lesson will be on features of the earth's surface. What is the earth's surface made of? The earth's surface is talking about the crust. So what is on top of the crust? What is it made of? All right, these are materials that you will bring. So each of you, students in your groups, you should bring a sample of this. Some clay, some loamy soil. Loamy soil is a mixture of sand, clay, and dead organisms, dead leaves, dead animals, whatever. So simply garden soil. You can call it garden soil. And sand. And rocks. Not very big ones you can carry, but just about the size of your hands, so it's big. Right. And with that, thank you 6C, receiving students and teachers for your participation.